Hi everybody, I'm Seamus.
I'm Josh.
I'm Skyrim.
I'm Mumbles.
And I'm Chris.
And Skyrim, huh? How about that?
We are playing Bethesda games once again.
Yes, if you haven't ever heard of Skyrim, I actually literally don't believe you, because even now it is fucking impossible to avoid. Like, it's not even like you could say that if you've been stuck in a cave for the past 5 years, you know, the blah blah blah, etc., etc. Like, that trope, because even now it's impossible to avoid. You go on our gaming, I promise you there'll be a Skyrim post in the first or second page. And I think, like, even though the previous two games were, you know, more successful than the earlier parts of the franchise, this is really the first Elder Scrolls game that's managed to pull off that huge level of saturation.
Yeah. Okay, so this intro
Go ahead.
is this intro somewhat divisive.
Really?
For context, I wrote an article when this game was new about how great I thought the intro was. And Extra Credits did an entire episode about how they thought it was a bad intro. And I think we both had really good points. And the only way I can reconcile that is to say I think it's a great intro if you're already familiar with the series, and an absolutely confusing, baffling intro if you're new to the series. And they start throwing words like Stormcloaks and Empire and everything at you.
I think that anyone who has a loose idea of what Star Wars is can get the concept of Empire bad, Stormcloaks good, and then you learn
Firstly,
later on.
oh, hold the
then you
fuck
learn.
up.
No,
Hold
listen.
the fuck.
I
You
think
you learn later on the complexities of it, but that's how it's presented in the beginning, and then you learn later on how it's supposed to go. But obviously, I think the first 15 minutes of this game. No. I was Empire all the way. But the first 15 minutes, they make it look like the Empire is like fucking Sith Lords and shit. So like, I think that people can understand it from that point of view.
now I want to see fanfiction with Saltai as a Sith Lord.
My opinion on this intro are, I think, somewhat different from the rest of the crew, because my opinion on Skyrim is really, I really enjoy playing it, and I think it's a terrible game. I think it's actually really well designed in parts, just the design that they're actually implementing is awful. It's kind of like, sometimes it feels like it's a beautiful sculpture made of cow shit, and then sometimes it feels like a solid gold urinal.
That's a fair assessment of the game.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, this intro really highlights every reason this game is great, and every reason this game is, I really can't stand it. And I know this doesn't make much sense, but I think it'll sort of come into context once I start talking about it. So, this also represents a little bit of a shift in how Elder Scrolls games are presented and how Bethesda is sort of marketing its products, and I think probably they correlate somewhat with their success. And here's the big thing that should already immediately be obvious. We are in a cart. This is a game about free-roaming sandbox exploration, in theory, and we're sitting in the back of a cart being wheeled into a town. And it's going to be a few minutes before we actually get control of our character, and in that span of time, we are going to move and make some decisions that we probably would have wanted to make on our own. And why are we going through this sort of train ride without being able to control our own characters or move around the way we want to? Because Bethesda has a story, and they want you to see their story, and they want you to see their cutscenes, and they want you to listen to their dialogue. This is going to be a theme that we're going to be revisiting throughout the game. And when that stuff is good, it's good. And when that stuff is terrible, it's really, really frustrating.
We worked with you. This is a mistake.
And that's pretty much the series in a nutshell. Is like, it's really wonderful, but spiked with really frustrating things. And you just can't separate one from the other. No matter how many mods you put into this, there's always going to be that conflict in the game.
Is Rayloff supposed to be standing backwards behind me? Oh,
I don't know. I think he's
whatever.
Case in
He was hiding
point.
behind you.
Okay, who wants to take a bet that Lokir escapes this time?
Okay,
I believe in him.
Sure, I got
50 on Loki.
$10.
Come on.
Okay, Go, go,
Oh,
yes,
juicy.
yes.
Oh.
Well, you could
Close.
say
Defeat.
that death is an escape from this Helgen place.
Yeah.
So I think that I win.
And here we go.
So here we have all the standard, you know, happy fun Elder Scrolls races.
Alright, now this is where the
And
Be a
fan
cat.
pools
Be a
pay
kitty
off.
cat.
They have to guess
Be a
which
cat.
race they're
Be
going
a
to pick
kitty.
for Reginald Cuftbert.
There
cat.
are a lot.
Be a
There's a
kitty.
sizable contingent of people who want us to play a Khajiit. I don't know.
I want us to name our character Reginald Lannister Gary Oak Cuftbert. I think that should be
Kitty
our
cat.
Reginald. Good
I mean,
guys,
on the one
guys,
hand,
guys,
they're cat
Josh,
people.
Josh. Reginald Catbert.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's.
It is.
Oh
It is. It has been
my
said. It has to
God.
happen now.
Well, okay. I mean, they do have the accents that are most
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
My
Kaji did
my vanilla playthrough of this game, I was a Khajiit. I really enjoy Khajiit. That was that default male Khajiit. That was pretty much my character.
So, guys, let's spend like 10 hours in this screen in long.
I'll be back in an hour.
Okay, so can I actually just say that
kind of
I've played every Elder Scrolls game through the main storyline all the way through from Arena, and Skyrim is the first game in the Elder Scrolls series where you could create people that look decent for that generation.
Not good, just acceptable.
Recognizable and not awful.
Yeah. This is the first time they've made something that rises to the level of, I guess it's alright. Their people generator technology has always been horrible. And this is even still wonky. The one in Oblivion was the worst. Where you move one slider and it moves 6 other ones with it. Like, you move eye color up and eye width would go down for no reason.
I've summarized it before. Arena looks like a grocery store coloring book. Daggerfall looks like your characters were drawn by the best artist at the gaming store. Morrowind looks kind of like your characters are whittled by a folk artist at a gas station. And Oblivion just looks like everybody's made out of pantyhose dolls.
That is very accurate, especially the thing about Oblivion. The Oblivion one, everybody just looked so creepy and off. And it was weird in Oblivion because the graphics were so cutting edge for the time with the shadows and the lighting engine and the bump mapping. They were really on the graphical edge, but then artistically, it was a train wreck. And so it was weird to have this very hackish art done with such high technology. It looked like a mod. It looked like somebody modded a good game.
It's really surprising to think that Oblivion came out on the Xbox 360 and so did this.
Oh wow, that's a strange thought. That had not occurred to me.
Ulfric Stormcloak.
Wow.
Okay, so just note, I want you guys to note that Josh wasn't actually walking there. We were being marched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was,
we still don't
You
have
might
any.
think, I'm a sneaky character. There actually aren't like Josh, turn around. Like there, if you can you?
No, you can't turn around.
Yeah.
There didn't seem to be a
This
whole
is
lot
the
of guards in that
range.
direction. You're playing a sneaky character. The attention is on the guy giving the speech. Now would seem like a good moment to sneak off, but no, it's not.
It's nothing.
It's not. This isn't about you.
Yes, General Tullius.
See, I was always confused by the fact
sneaky
that
character in great big air quotes, Rutskarn.
Anyway, continue.
I was always confused that the game later on really makes the Empire versus Stormcloak stuff pretty ambiguous, because the opening really frames it as Empire evil in a really strong. You are
they
in
lay it on
prison
so
and you are
thick.
about to be beheaded.
It is
For no
surprising
reason.
that anyone can like. I mean, I don't generally compliment Bethesda on a lot of their story stuff, but the fact that you can still have people that debate over whether the Empire was a good force or a force that was generally screwing things up and the Stormcloaks were right, when they frame it so one-sidedly with this.
They actually did this stuff pretty well in Daggerfall and Morrowind too. It's just that, like, ever since they've been really stupid.
Did you hear that?
Okay, now, can we, before we go to the block, can we get somebody to empty the box with the head in it so we
Oh
can have
my
a fresh
God, I
for 3
know.
years to say that.
Oh my god.
That was like
there's
the first
already a head in
comment
there.
Seamus made to me about this game was like, I thought it was really weird that they put me here and they had this box here, but they didn't clear the head out of it. Because, like, my head's not going to fit in that.
A bigger box.
You know, this moment where it looks
yeah.
like you're about to be beheaded might be more tense if you actually had walked up to the block yourself. Because at this
Yeah.
point you're like, oh, well, that was
Yeah.
a short video game.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the moment in Half-Life 2 where, like, you walk through the checkpoint in the beginning and you're stopped, and you legitimately think, fuck, did I do something wrong?
Okay, now I can move. That was odd.
Yeah, finally we
Your
have...
hands are bound. Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't actually want to hammer this theme on too much in the first episode, but that's a pretty... I don't know.
Can you activate
It's pretty
third-person
symbolic
mode
right
during
there.
Barricade.
No,
Your
you
hands
cannot
aren't
go in
free
third
yet.
person. I've tried.
so they don't have a funny little hands tied
They
animation?
don't
of
have
when
an
hilarious.
animation for this, no.
But the legends
Which is interesting because they do have animations for people with their hands bound.
Yeah, yeah, they
games,
do.
So I don't know.
So I,
While
was
you
actually, I will
stop
say
there
I
and
was
talk-
really into this the first time I played this, and I was so into it, in fact, that I completely missed all of this shit because I was just
Me
running
too.
ahead.
Yeah,
I-
me too.
and
I was just
also
sprinting.
when-
You can jump
Oh,
on this
jeez.
dragon's head.
Hey, what's
You can
up?
jump on his head. if you
Yeah,
time it
yeah,
right.
jump on it.
What the fuck? Holy shit!
Where are
Perfect.
you? Oh my god.
Great! Excellent! Now I'm on top of what the fucking hell?
I want to stress that we are running no mods. That's vanilla Skyrim.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. We that brought up some debate in the discussion of what season we were going to do next was let's not do this game with any mods.
And if we had mods, somebody would blame that on mods. Somebody would say, "Oh, you probably had a mod that changes how dragons work or something." No, I want everybody to realize what is in the game and what isn't. That's in the vanilla game. That event.
Walls are for chumps.
Dragons hate
We are running
walls.
the enhanced texture pack, the official Bethesda.
Yeah, the HD texture pack. Hey, what's up, guys?
I also want to point out without super
I'll distract
judging
him
or
by jumping
commenting,
around like a jackass.
I don't feel particularly judgmental about this point, but just in case it's not abundantly clear, you can't actually die in this part.
You
Go
can.
jump in some fire.
You can get eaten
You,
by
you
the dragon
can
if you-
technically,
if you
but like,
really try, you can get killed.
let me put it this way: the
So
game's
okay,
not going
which
to
one
kill
of
you.
these guys do we want to follow? Are we Empire or Stormcloak?
Empire. Empire. Yeah, fuck that.
See, I lean towards the Stormcloaks.
Let's go.
Empire.
This choice,
But
this
Even at the beginning,
choice
it-
never felt like a choice to me. If
No.
you're
Yeah,
actually
it
like,
isn't.
if you get into it, I mean, okay, it's not a choice in the sense that it doesn't really have a ton of lasting implications, but I also think it's not really a great choice because if you're really running from the dragon and you're not jumping around and bunny hopping and going, haha, dragon doesn't do damage, you're running to get out of there and you don't necessarily notice that there are two people you have the option to follow.
Yes,
Right.
I did not notice that. the first time I
Exactly.
played this.
Neither did I. I went with Hadvar here, Hadvar, just because. Oh, there's a guy and he was saying for me to follow him. Okay. I favor Rayloff even when I want to side with the Empire because
I can't see.
once you get out of here, you get to live basically in his place, and his place is a little nicer and has a little more. It has a few more useful things,
I see.
and you get a bit
Plus
better loot
Imperial
to
armor's
start
better
with.
than Stormcloak.
I will say also
Do the
that
Imperials give you a place to live? They just give you food.
I
and
do
they're
have
like,
three
"Alright,
Yeah,
iron
they give you
swords.
food. Yeah, you
Just to-
get to live with Rayloff and his sister, or his sister Gerda and
That's
his
right.
brother-in-law.
Chug the wine.
yeah, Rayloff's sister. I see where you're coming from, Seamus. I get you.
Yeah, and Rayloff doesn't hang around the place all day. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, just so it's clear that I actually meant what I said about enjoying this game, and I'm not
God,
going
I
to be
look
on it all the
ridiculous
time.
in Imperial armor.
Yeah, this is why they didn't let you wear helmets in Morrowind.
Kitty cat.
Oh, the helmets in this
but-
game. Please, Bethesda, whatever you do, give us an option to hide the friggin' helmets in the next game. Or just
What
spitballing
up?
here. Maybe hire somebody that's not a chimpanzee to
Thank you, Stem
design your helmets.
Tutorial bullshit.
So, anyway, to get back to the actual compliment, I like how
It's not
they
even
do
giving me
actually
the
set
right
up some of
tutorial
the...
prompts.
They do set up some of the sort of feelings on the Empire and how they fit morally into this whole spectrum by having it so that,
Alright, sneaky
yes,
hammer
you
time.
are going to be executed by the Empire and you might hold a grudge against them for that, but Ralof does try to help you. So the implication is maybe the machine is evil or at least uncaring,
yeah.
but
Hey,
individual
guys.
people might be good.
This is my favorite part of this whole segment.
What the? Oh, I've never done this.
This is the best part of all of Skyrim is the super bouncy carts that are
The
made
only
of balloons.
the only gamer I know who didn't go crazy over Skyrim, like in real life, who didn't go crazy over Skyrim was one who got this far and got killed by the wagon and stopped playing.
That's awesome!
I do hate that though. You'll be running down a hallway and you'll step on some bones. They'll get knocked out of the way, bounce off a wall, and injure you. Like stuff
That's
like that happens
realism.
all the time. Like, realism.
That's realism. That's
I
what
got.
happens
How'd you
when
die?
you're
I got run.
tearing-
Oh, I got flames.
How'd you die? Welcome to
Healing.
Sovngarde, by the way. Oh, I got run over by a wagon. Oh, that's rough. How many horses? No horses. It was stationary. What was in it? Like 2 cabbages.
What kind of character are you playing, Joshua?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Khajiit have the unarmed bonus, so I'm going to play... I'm going to start punching people, because that's the proper way to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really I thought it was adorable when at first I was reading. Yeah,
That's awesome.
suplex.
That's awesome. I've never seen that
You never
before, and
seen
I played
the
as a
unarmed
kid.
stuff?
No, I've never done it.
I thought it was
now,
really adorable
now I have
when Bethesda did an interview where they said, you're not going to be able to play an unarmed character in this game. And everyone was like, what? You can't? You can't use your fist anymore? And they're like, no, you can use your fist. And they're like, oh, never mind. Sure, can't play an unarmed character. Whatever you say, Bethesda.
They even have a fucking enchantment that you can use that increases unarmed damage. I mean, like,
Yeah, you put
oh
it on
yeah,
gloves.
you can't play an unarmed character. Yep.
And that's clearly supposed to be for brawling, but, I mean...
Yeah. Oh, this is this is making me want to do another playthrough. Do you know I have over
Me
1,000
too.
hours logged on this
Nope,
game in Steam, and now I want to do another playthrough.
It's the season too, man. Whenever it gets cold, like 50 degrees,
everything.
like I just really want to play something where there's snow and cold
It's the
to
warmest
remind me
it's
of
been.
how cold it is.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
did you
50
die?
degrees.
Hey,
Today
anyone wanna
was the
start
warmest
a
it's
vote?
been in a month, and it was 40.
It's so cold, Seamus.
If not, I'm
it's
gonna
so
take
cold.
this.
It's pretty cold out here right now. Luckily I've got my laptop which is generating some heat, so actually, like, it's maybe 70, 80 in here right now.
Oh,
hate you all. I
burr.
hate you
Put on
all.
a sweater.
I did hear some odd noises coming from
It's
over
50 degrees here. Collect all the books.
I don't want to harp on the beginning choice, but I going back to it, it still bothers me that not only do they make you make that choice without really giving you any context to who the Stormcloaks are. You get the Empire,
Right.
Empire, big, bad, evil, and maybe you can side with them. But not only is it a really poorly designed choice, but it's a poorly designed choice that asks you to choose between evil guys who are about to kill you and guy you don't know anything about at all yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and if you're used to fantasy tropes, you're just gonna assume the Stormcloaks are
I
inherently
like
good.
that. No, I like
Yeah.
that because you go in assuming that, oh, Stormcloaks good, Rebel Alliance, Empire bad, Sith Lords, and Stormtroopers. Got it. And then you start
This
learning
is probably
about
exactly
shit.
how the Stormcloaks get their recruit.
Right.
I
No, you
forgot.
start learning about it though, and you're like, oh, wait a second. Fuck you, you racist bastards. I'm going Empire.
I
Um,
forgot about the default armor, or not the default armor, the default interface. I mean, SkyUI is such an essential mod that you use because the
Oh,
interface of the PC
screw
is so
the interface
shitty.
on this game. Yes, it's horrible, and this is a problem that goes all the way back. That goes back to Oblivion. Is it where? No, it goes all the way back. I mean, they've all had horrible interfaces, but when they went to Morrowind was horrible because it just made no sense. But why was that guy still alive?
So
What?
I got
Well,
three
he's not anymore.
problems with this torturer guy. So you come down here and there's a torturer guy who's electrocuting stormcloaks.
Oh, he's got a steel dagger. Sweet.
I've got three problems with this this premise. The first is
Advar
we don't
apparently
really
doesn't
know
care. I
enough.
didn't
Like
see.
what Mumble says is true, but like throwing a torturer in there just kind of pushes it a little too far in one direction. Secondly,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
don't see
fair
any
enough.
other torturers anywhere else. You never have to rely on torturers. Torture doesn't actually come into the Empire's campaign at all. And thirdly, why do you need torturers in a world where you have clairvoyant spells?
Yeah.
Why do you
I
need
think it's
torturers
just
in this
TMZ.
town? I mean, this is just the town of Helgen. Why does the Empire
Oh, this is
have
a
their
dungeon.
official torturer in
castle.
this town?
Well, did you ever play Killzone? That's why.
Because people play
They're just
Killzone.
a no. They're just a rogue
We never
faction.
played-
They go off and do their own thing. We don't know
Oh, it's a
about
rogue
it.
cell.
The guy's in charge.
It's a rogue
Yeah, it's a
cell.
rogue cell. They don't.
Oh god.
And why was he electrocuting people down here at this very moment? Did they
Torture's
escape?
assistant.
Did they not hear the dragon? I guess they.
So
can't
They,
is
hear
the-
didn't.
dragon
They
either.
absolutely didn't. He doesn't believe you that there's a dragon up there. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I
No, I mean,
do
like, if
appreciate.
you're so
I
Well,
will
now
say-
he doesn't believe
underground.
much of anything because I wrestled him
I will
into
say
a cage.
Bethesda doesn't do this nearly enough in this game, but I really appreciate that you can kill the torturer and nobody
don't
bats. an
Oh
eye.
yeah. And they don't do any. Your guide guy doesn't do anything about it. I was like, oh, by the way, fuck this guy, stab. And then the guide guy's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, let's-
And
let's-
the thing is, oh yeah. Okay. Well, one last point. The thing is, you can't do that very often in the game. Like, we're gonna keep a running
No.
counter of how many times we meet somebody we want dead, and we can't do that. So stick
Oh
around.
man, don't store it in a 16-bit integer. It'll overflow.
That was like the worst programming joke I've ever heard you make.